1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome back to Country and Cold Cans. As always, I'm Logan, sitting here with Andy and Kyle. Make sure you go follow us on Twitter, man. We've been having some good content out there here and there. We need to get better at being a little more consistent, but we're trying here, folks. But also go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Give us 5 stars, subscribe, and then we'll keep churning out podcasts for you guys. All right, Andy, where you at today, man? I see you're driving.
Missouri,
where at?
in between Springfield and Kabul.
Kabul. Like,
Jesse James land.
There's a Kabul, Missouri.
Yep.
Andy, are you one of those?
Nowhere.
Are you one of those Americans still stranded in Afghanistan?
Yes. Send help.
Oh, Lord.
Coming to you live from Kabul, Afghanistan.
Oh, all right. So, Andy, I know you didn't, but Kyle, I'd be remiss if I didn't bring it up. You watched the Clemson NC State game?
I did. I binged 7 hours of college football Saturday afternoon, and it was glorious.
That was the way to watch spend a Saturday, is to do nothing but watch college football.
Well, I had some stuff to do in the morning, but yeah, I about 3 o'clock, I watched it until about midnight when I fell asleep. And congrats on the big win.
Appreciate it, man. Like, I got to say, I've been to a lot of games at Carter Finley in the last 9-10 years, and that was probably easily top 3, maybe top 2 best experiences at Carter Finley Stadium. I won't go on a long tangent here, but it's been a long time coming against Clemson. 2016, we had them beat the year they won the national title, missed a chip shot field goal. We come in here a few years later, and it was almost watching the same movie unfold, and we all knew how it always ends. State missed another chip shot field goal at the end of regulation, tied at 14, and at half the stadium, probably more than that, was all thinking, here we go again. In my head, though, I was like, we're not losing this time. I don't know why. I just felt good about it. Double overtime, the Pack pulls it out. It's crazy, but thank God.
You know, I'm sure Dave knows this, but seriously invest in a scholarship kicker.
Well, Chris Dunn, he's an all-ACC scholarship kicker who makes 83% of his kicks in his career. He's only missed 7 under 45 yards in his career, and he's here. This is like his 4th year.
Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy because now he missed the game-winning field goal from 38 yards out.
Well, luckily it didn't matter in the end. My only commentary is that it's probably the second biggest win in Carter Finley. The biggest being 1998 East Carolina versus Miami hurricane game. That was played there because of a hurricane.
Oh, is that the one where y'all stormed the field?
Yes.
Try to take the goalpost down?
Yes.
Now,
yes.
I see that, and I'll raise you one more. That was probably a bigger game from that same year at Carter Finley.
I believe Miami was 5 or 6th in the nation, somewhere around there.
I think they were. But now I'll see that, and I'll raise you. Same season, 1998, NC State versus Florida State. Florida State had only lost 2 conference games since they joined the ACC in 92, and NC State beats them behind. Chris Winkie throws like 6 picks. Torrey Holt, NC State great wide receiver, had 4 touchdowns that day, and they beat them like 24-7.
Yeah, that's a big win.
Yeah, but
fair enough.
Enough about NC State athletics. We got the big win. Go Pack. All right, so some big news in the music world. One of the podcast favorite bands here, American Aquarium, announced a couple new records today, boys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're going to do it's still exciting, but the lesser of the two albums that people are anticipating. Slappers, Bangers, and Certified Twingers Part 2, Volume 2 has been announced. So they're going to record that. That's going to be cool because I really like their 90s cover album they did.
Yeah, it was pretty good. They are covers. And I'm fine with covers. BJ does a good job. He picks the right songs. I'll give him that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. I mean, look, I really enjoyed that because I know Andy doesn't like 90s country, but I love 90s country. It was kind of cool seeing a reimagining of some of those songs.
90s was in my opinion, a dead period for a lot of music. With the exception of the 90s rock scene, which just completely rebuked age rock. And
the hair metal.
Yeah.
And killed hair metal.
Yeah, and turned to more of a grunge scene, which I was a fan of, and 90s country, which is the golden generation of country music, in my opinion.
Yeah, like especially for folks our age that are, mid to late 20s, maybe even a little bit older, like it's definitely like up into their 30s. People love that stuff. The old timers, though, will tell you that 90s country was where country got ruined. That's what they think.
Yeah. Well, old people, they can go relive their glory days.
But no, and then, okay, back on American Aquarium real quick. The more anticipated album that they have coming out, they have a brand new record of originals that they're going into the studio, and I believe they said they're recording it at the Sonic Ranch in El Paso, Texas. And Brad Cook, the guy who produced Wolves, he's coming back to produce this project.
We can hope its last album was a B. I can hope it's better than that one, in my opinion, but we'll see.
Yeah, no, I liked the last album, but it wasn't. It
wasn't the strongest.
It wasn't. It was a really good, well-written album. So, like when we say that, everybody, we're not meaning that it wasn't a good album. It's just relative to their previous output. I think that it wasn't as good, even though it still was good, if that makes sense. Yeah.
My commentary on that album is, without looking it up, here's the way an album speaks to me. If I can remember months and years later a song on an album, that album's very good. I can't remember any of the songs without looking them up.
Yeah.
He had that standalone single that they cut the music video for. So I'm talking about names.
Talking about The Luckier You Get.
Yep, that one. Yep. Yeah. I mean, but like I said, it doesn't just pop into my head, immediately.
Yeah.
That kind of sums up my thoughts.
Yeah. I mean, this is their 9th studio album. They're going in, and it's pronounced, hopefully I'm not butchering this, but it's Chickamauga, something like that. Or, something, I don't know. I mispronounced it, I know. But it's based off of a settlement on Hatteras. Because so
it's Native American, I'm taking it.
I'm thinking so, yeah.
Okay.
And because, the early settlement in North Carolina was like a lot of Native Americans out on the coast in the Outer Banks area. And the cover art, I'm assuming maybe is the album cover that was he posted. It looks like, the coast of North Carolina. So I'm interested. I think thematically I could see him going kind of a North Carolina direction on this, which would be kind of cool because I feel like, I'm not saying this as a negative, but I feel like they kind of drifted towards a lot of like Texas kind of stuff. Like in some ways because they tour there a lot, but I would really, really like a North Carolina kind of themed record in some ways. What say you, Andy? You're unusually quiet.
I got kicked out 4 times, so that was part of it. But I'd agree. I do agree with what you said though about the Texas thing, where it was in the last album when in one of the scenarios narrative he was living in Dallas versus North Carolina, which I agree with you on that. I do like the North Carolina narrative a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that. I know that we can't always have everything about North Carolina, but as
it makes it a little less unique.
We want it. Yeah. Because I mean, a lot of people sing about Dallas. I remember that was your criticism of the line in "Round Here Buzz" by Eric Church. Yeah. Andy's like in the song it says, "I've never been east of Dallas," and Andy's like, "You grew up east of Dallas."
It makes it different. I mean, people like being from Texas. So.
Sure. I mean, Texas seems like it's a cool state. I've only been there once, but you know what? I love North Carolina. Hell yeah, I'm from North Carolina.
Texas is cool. It's hot. It ain't cool. It's hot.
Well, I don't know about Texas, but I like North Carolina. We have seasons. We get a break from the incredible heat and humidity.
It's true. Even though
Texas
we have
has hot and less hot.
Even though we have about 6 months of summer here, which I'm not complaining about by any means.
But for the month fall, October is a glorious month.
October is a really nice month in North Carolina because it's not cold like it gets in November or December, but it feels like awesome.
Yes.
It's like a nice breeze. Like you could wear like a hoodie or something and you're not, like it's comfortable, I guess is the way I should put it.
It's perfect. And it's the best month of the year, sports wise.
Yeah. Isn't that the month that like all sports are kind of going at the same time?
Yeah. I mean, we get the heat of college football and NFL. We have the World Series and baseball coming to its end. The NBA, if that's for you, tipping off. Hockey starting off. So
yeah, college basketball's
right around the corner.
Infancy for the year at that point.
It's a glorious month.
Yeah, October is pretty. And look, Halloween. I may be 27, but I still like Halloween.
D-Bear, you're at my house right now. You haven't seen the ungodly amounts of decoration that's in this house for Halloween.
Was that Bailey?
Of course.
Yeah. We're down here in the studio in Kyle's basement, and it's totally like a dude's basement around here where his studio is. But upstairs, he lets his fiance decorate the rest of the house.
That's 100% accurate. Yeah. So this is where all the reject stuff goes that doesn't make the cut for anywhere else.
And what he means by that, he means nothing but awesomeness. It's like 3 TVs down here, a pool table, a fridge, unique beer cans of which he's drank. A bar.
With saloon doors, I might add.
Saloon doors, neon signs, sports memorabilia. Like, honestly, I'd say this is probably my favorite room in your house.
I 100% agree, yeah. But it is the reject stuff, so that's what Bailey calls it. So.
Well, that's the beauty of America. She's allowed to be wrong.
It is true, yes. And I can come down here and be happy in all my reject stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, looking forward to that. American Aquarium putting out a new record.
So do we have a date on that?
I think it'll be sometime in summer of 2022.
Oh, okay. So
I think I was reading.
A decent ways off. Okay.
Yeah. They haven't. So one cool thing that I think is cool about the American Aquarium fans and what BJ has kind of cultivated for himself is that it's 100% crowdfunded. Like he has his own label now that he owns, but it's like it's basically paid for by pre-orders. So, and he said that 100% every dime of the money that people pre-order with, it's going to go towards making the record, which is that's just a cool thing. He's able to do that now. And there's lots of different levels too. It's not like you just buy the record, pre-order it for $9.99 or whatever, what have you. You can also get like special T-shirts. You can get your name in the liner notes on the record. You can be credited as an executive producer. If you pay enough. Like I was thinking, like, what if Country and Cold Cans was a executive producer on the next American Aquarium project?
That would be pretty sweet. I mean, he's a salesman. I mean, hey, good for him. He's trying to. Oh yeah, he's trying to toe that line of being.
Well, I think it's a cool thing because he's getting the record paid for, but he's giving something in return to people that are willing to pay more than just the $9.99. You know what I mean? It's like they're getting something for it. It's not like he's just like, hey, you give me your money. He's like, hey, you give me your money, and in return, here's something cool.
I wonder how many people are going to be in that byline.
I don't know. I think my older brother was in the Things Change liner notes, I believe.
That's pretty sweet.
I know he did one of them.
Yeah, his wife bought it for him for like his birthday or Christmas one year.
Oh, that'd be pretty dope.
Yeah, it would. It's pretty
sick. Wonder how much it would cost to get our logo slapped up on the cover art.
Probably a lot.
That might would cost. I don't know if we could. I don't know if we could actually pay him enough for him to want to do that.
Say, BJ,
Al, if you considered selling your house, we might be able to pay for it then.
Oof. Yeah, BJ, just screw the cover art you have. Let's just use our logo as the cover art.
Yeah.
What would that take?
Yeah.
This is why, Andy, you need to just become rich. And me and D-Berry can live off of you.
That's right. And then when the podcast starts making us lots of money, we can also take all that money and not give you any.
Yeah, we can be complete mooches.
Because you're already rich.
If I have that much money, this still sounds like a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andy's like, you know what? At the end of the day, I'm still rich.
This is true.
Solid deal here.
Yeah, well, I'm rooting for you. Please win the lottery in whatever state you're in.
Yeah, really though.
You turn around and go back to Oklahoma and hit the casino up.
Yeah, because we all know from Tampa that hitting the casino is the best way to make a bunch of money.
I've never hit in the casino. I've only ever lost money.
Really? How many times have you gone to a casino?
I've been to Las Vegas 3 or 4 times. I'm talking about like,
Oh, you
anytime
never made money.
yeah, over the course of the trip. I've been up,
Sure.
but I've been on that high, so high. One more hand, baby. And then I lose $50. And then it's like, oh, I got to get that 50 back.
Yeah, I did something similar down in Tampa. I had never gambled before. I'm not a big
Logan's
gambler.
casino expert now. He's been one time.
I know, seriously. If you have any questions about casinos, reach out to me at Logan at BookCityDrifters.com. But yeah, I went to the casino there, first time ever gambling. And when I was in there, I said I took out $100 in cash, and it was funny because Andy got his card eaten by the ATM, and we had to
It
go.
wasn't me.
Who was it then?
That was
CJ.
CJ.
It was CJ. Sorry, it wasn't Andy. It was CJ. My bad, Andy. But so we had to go get like the maintenance people to open it up. That was kind of funny, but thankfully he got it out. But I went in there with $100 and was like, if I lose this, I lose this. I've never gambled before. We go up to like the cheaper digital roulette table upstairs, and I like immediately had beginner's luck, and I was like, this is easy. I was like, why does everybody lose so much money? I was like, idiots.
They knew. They
I
know.
know. And I was sitting there and I was like, I went up like $60. I went up $70 and I went down 30. Then I went down 30 more. Then I went up again. And I was just like, you know what? I said, I cashed out and I was like broke even. Then I went back, put it back in 10 minutes later. And within half hour, I was broke. I lost all $100. I wasn't broke, but I lost the $100 that I put down.
Dude, I have the best luck at casinos. I really actually do pretty good. First machine I walk up to, I put a 20 in it. There's somebody left $5 on, instantly cashed out and made $5, never even played. That's how my casino experiences usually go.
Well, that $5
I don't
was
really gamble
almost,
a lot,
that
so.
$5 was almost enough to buy you a beer.
Yeah.
Probably not.
You sound like a robot right now.
Now, my gambling tastes have changed. I was a big
That
on
was the
the
crappy thing about it.
my gambling taste have changed. When I first started, I used to like the blackjack table.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm just a sportsbook junkie.
Oh, you bet against the spread?
I will bet on literally anything. They had the women's Wimbledon the last time I went to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I was betting on just broads I'd never heard of. And just watching women's tennis on a 1 million inch TV. No idea who these women were, and just hoping I win. And as long as you have a little bet ticket in your hand, they'll keep bringing you drinks.
Yeah, we didn't have that luxury in Tampa. They didn't. It wasn't any free stuff. But
yeah, my favorite thing about casinos is the free part.
Well, Las
It's
Vegas,
awesome.
as Las Vegas, as long as you look like you're gambling or are gambling, they'll keep bringing you the booze.
Yeah. Sir, can I interest you in some dinner? It's on the house.
Yeah. Yep. As long as you pretend like you're doing something. Second you don't like your plan, they don't come by.
Yeah. Yeah. I just recently joined a betting league of betting against the spread for the NFL. It's a real cheap league, like $40 buy-in. The most you can lose is $40. And every week I have to pick the games, and I quickly have learned how little I know about the NFL. Like, yeah. I think I'm around 500 right now on my picks.
That's pretty good, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just kind of picking people. I'm just like, oh, this looks good.
Yeah. I understand that.
I don't watch a lot of NFL. I think the most I've watched is hanging out in your reject basement.
Yeah. I mean, it's quite nice when you have Red Zone and
the
local games on the other two TVs. Yeah.
True.
I live a life of luxury.
Yeah. But before we get into the main topic, I'm going to see Brooks and Dunn this Friday.
That's going to be pretty hype.
Yeah, dude, it really will. I've never seen him. And the way I look at it is, Ronnie Dunn is like probably 68 now.
Yeah, he's on the...
I think he's around the same age as Hank Jr. And people don't realize that because their peaks...
He's that old.
Yeah, their peaks were just at different times. But they're about the same age. But yeah.
He looks really good to be 68.
Yeah, I mean...
I haven't seen recent pictures
of him. He still has long flowing hair at his age, so...
Yeah, that's good for him. I'm jealous.
Yeah. And his voice sounds really
real?
good. I don't know, Andy. I'm not going to get into speculation about whether his hair is real.
I feel like that guy could have enough money. He's probably got enough money. He can pay some scientist to give him fake hair.
They do implants.
Yeah, I mean, it looks real to me. So, I mean, I'll just say it's real.
D-Bear hasn't touched it, ran his fingers through it,
That's for later.
So where is this at? Is it at Walnut Creek?
Yeah, it's at Walnut Creek in Raleigh at the
Okay.
amphitheater. So it's going to be about 20,000 strong out there. I'm sitting in the lawn in the cheap seats, but I'm excited about it, man. Cause like Brooks and Dunn is interesting to me because if you had told people in the 90s and early 2000s who would be the most influential act of that era, that everybody would have said, obviously George Strait, Alan Jackson, probably Garth. But in reality, if you listen to like, some of Luke Combs' stuff and some of like even like Tristan Perez's stuff and folks like that are around our age, their music is much more similar with some of the guitar riffs and everything to that like kind of Brooks and Dunn sound more so than Alan Jackson and George Strait. I think Brooks and Dunn is probably one of the more influential acts for younger people. I saw an interesting article the other day that was the generation after us, Gen Z. They're really getting into like 90s country, and Brooks and Dunn is like one of their favorites.
Well, I wonder how much that reboot album they did had to do with that.
It probably helped with the young kids because, most of them were, by the time they were really listening to country music, they were, Brooks and Dunn had been retired. And you had like Kix Brooks's solo record, Ronnie Dunn put out a couple solo projects, but the height of Brooks and Dunn, those kids weren't really around for.
No, like Red Dirt Road's 2003. We were young then.
Yeah, we were young then.
I mean,
their biggest heyday of like the mid to late 90s, like we were really little at that point.
Yeah. I mean, that reboot album's got to be a big reason because, I mean, he's got everybody from Luke Combs is on that, Kane Brown's on it. He does a good job on Believe. I'll give him a tip of the cap for that.
Nobody's ever said that Kane Brown doesn't have vocal talent. I should put it that way. But the problem is his just song selection and everything is just awful.
Yeah, he's not good with maps either.
Yeah, he gets lost on his own property.
Oh yeah, John Party and our girl Casey Musgraves.
Yeah.
Who absolutely killed it on Neon Moon.
Yeah.
So
briefly before I make a statement about Casey real quick, but Kojo was on it. He did a good different type of rendition of Red Dirt Road.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Casey's new record. Have you guys listened to that at all?
No,
nope.
I didn't even know she had dropped a new record.
So it's her first official pop release. It's not a country record.
Oh, okay.
It's a couple of I don't dislike it, right? Like I generally like Casey's music, but it's just kind of boring. It's bland. It's boring. It's like the songwriting isn't up to the par of what she in the past had. I think her best record was Pageant Material, but that was just what the sound of hers and the songwriting I really liked. Like Dime Store Cowgirl, fantastic song. But this most recent record, it's not that it's bad per se. It's just boring. It's kind of bland. It just was disappointing.
That's not surprising. I haven't listened to it, so
it's worth like one listen through. Okay. But there are a couple of songs on it that I think are pretty good. Yeah, Star-Crossed. And apparently there's like a feature film she released with it. I don't know.
I'm not a fan of the.
What is a feature film?
I'm not a fan of this cross media stuff.
Yeah, me neither. It's like a mini movie. It's a feature film is a movie, Andy, but I don't think it's like a full length movie. I don't know. I didn't watch it. I saw a preview for it. It didn't look like my thing, so I didn't really care to watch it. But I was going to listen to the album, and it's fine. It's just boring. I don't really think that her moving in a pop direction, this is just my humble opinion here on Country and Cold Cans, is a good move. Just because I think that her previous, even Golden Hour was the last record, won Grammy album of the year across all genres. That was a good record, even though it was kind of poppy. But this full on pop record she did, I don't know. Maybe it's because it's not my taste. I don't know. I digress.
Yeah, no comment. I haven't listened to it, so
yeah, I couldn't even name you one of her songs.
Andy,
period.
You need to listen to Pageant Material. It's a good record.
I've heard some of her stuff, but I know I've heard a song, but I couldn't name you one off the top of my head.
She sing I'd say her biggest song is the Merry-Go-Round song. That's probably the most. Yeah, so I mean that's probably the biggest. That's the one you hear on country radio the most, I think.
Or at least at the time, it was definitely. I don't know if it's still her biggest, but that was the one that kind of got her a lot. That and Follow Your Arrow got her a lot of attention.
Yeah. I've heard that.
Those are good songs. But yeah, Merry-Go-Round, I remember when that came out. Oh, that was from Same Trailer, Different Bark. That was I really like that record too.
It's a good name.
Yeah. But I mean, like, Casey's got talent, man. Like,
She has pipes.
I just wish that she would use that talent for country rather than pop. But, it's her career, not mine.
Just listening to her singing Neon Moon, it just gives me so much hope.
Yeah, and it's a different stylings on her version of it too, which it sounded pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, she completely changed the whole sound of the song, and it works.
Yeah, it really did. So, but yeah, Brooks and Dunn will be fun this Friday. You and Bailey should come if y'all want. I think that a handful of our friends are going to that. And then next week, Thursday night, I'm going to see Co Wetzel and Three Doors Down in Raleigh.
That's an odd pairing.
Is it though? Like if Co wasn't from the Texas scene and you just heard his music, I don't think that people would think it's that odd.
No, especially for that because it's the Better Life 20th anniversary thing.
Yeah.
His music and that album specifically from them do sound a lot alike.
Yeah, sonically speaking.
Yeah.
Lyrically, they're a bit different.
Yeah.
But I mean, it'll be a fun show. Like I've been to 3 Co shows, Andy.
Yeah,
Virginia Beach, Charlotte, and Raleigh. Yeah, so it'll be like he's opening, so he's only probably going to play for about an hour, but like it'll be fun. Like I guarantee you, half the younger people will be there for Co, and then all the older folks will be there for Three Doors Down. But I'm a fan of both. I just like Co a lot more. You're not going though, are you?
But if I were to go, I would be probably. I'll almost be going more for Three Doors Down than Co.
Well,
I'm a big fan. I'm a big Three Doors Down fan. That was like that was my peak.
That was the first album I ever owned.
Yeah, I like Three Doors Down a lot.
The Better Life.
I'm excited.
Okay, yeah.
I have that on CD to this day.
Do you still play it?
Yeah.
So
I don't have a CD player. No. I don't have a CD player anymore. But yeah, I used to play it all the time on CD.
So that's
a great album.
That's an interesting question. D-Barry, do you know off the top of your head what your first album was?
Yeah,
first CD you purchased?
I do actually. It was Tim McGraw's Greatest Hits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine was Linkin Park Hybrid Theory.
Now, define CD. One that I
went the first one you went and purchased with.
Like I drove myself to the store to purchase.
No, or your mom drove you to the store. She might have bought you the CD because you wanted it, not because it was around. But.
Yeah. So let me answer that this way. So the first one that I wanted and I got, but I didn't pay for because I was a little kid, was Tim McGraw's Greatest Hits. First one that I paid for was "Get Off on the Pain" by Gary Allan.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my first CD. Andy, I used to blare that album, especially the title track, which I think was the first track on the record. When I was 16 and I had that 1990 F-150. I would roll the windows down with the crank windows because it didn't have electric windows, and I'd rode down the dirt road to the baseball field to baseball practice, blaring "Don't Know Why I Love Women, Love to Do Me Wrong."
I'm trying to. Mine was either Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park, or it was the. It might have been the Nickelback album where they sang where Hero with the Spider-Man soundtrack.
Yeah,
I think that might have been it. Hero was such a great song. Nickelback gets so much hate.
It's funny because I've been guilty just because I'm in on the joke.
It's
I like to make fun of it. Yeah, but I kind of like about 5 or 6 of Nickelback songs a lot.
Yeah, they have some really good songs.
I like most of it. I was listening to Nickelback this month. Their newer stuff is a little bit different. So I don't know much about the newer stuff. After Dark Horse, I don't know a whole lot as far as albums go.
I know the hits. I'll say that. I'm not going to act like I'm a well-versed Nickelback aficionado by any means, but
Dark Horse and Back, I know all of it.
Yeah, I'm probably with Andy. Yeah.
No. But while we're speaking of records, that brings us into what we actually came to talk about today. So far, we're about to start October, last 3 months of the year, the last quarter, as Andy put it on our group chain today. We're going to have an end of the year pod where we have each of our top 5 favorite records. But right now we're going to do our top 3 favorite records so far. So the list could be subject to change by the end of the year. And just a caveat to be clear, so everybody knows what this means. We're not saying these are what we think are our 3 best records. These are just the 3 that we liked the most. Our favorite.
And we don't care what you think.
And that too. But these are our 3 like the ones that you probably play the most or that you think are your favorites, not that you think they are the best records. So starting in, go ahead.
I'm good.
Start at number 3 and work down to 1. Kyle?
I'm gonna go with the new Mike and the Moonpies album.
Ooh, yeah.
We were gonna do a pod, and then like I said, we all got really, really busy. But paycheck to paycheck, that's just a jam, man. Like I said, I just love that album. You hit me up one day and you were like, "Hey, Mike and the Moonpies just dropped an album," and I think, me personally, I think this is their best album. So I'm just gonna go leave it there. I mean, I don't. There's a lot more on it.
Hour on the Hour and The Vein, and so now Social Drinkers. I love the hook to that song. Yeah, he's like, I miss old winos and social drinkers. Anytime you can work the word wino into a country song, 100%. It's awesome.
I like Growing Pains because it's very clever how he works Growing Pains in.
Yeah,
and I also like the beginning, the little riff on the guitar, and steel guitar in the background. I think it's a steel guitar. I'm so bad at being able to
pick out instruments.
Pick out instruments. I think it's what it is. I'm not entirely sure, but
I have to go back and listen and see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, look, this record is a cohesive album. It's not just a collection of songs, but each song actually works individually in a vacuum as well. So it's a good pick.
And when I saw the album cover, I just thought that it was a Snapchat that Andy would send of his crotch to us.
Yeah, Andy's for context, everyone. Andy doesn't just send us images of his crotch, but he's a truck driver. He sometimes will send things in his truck. So
it just reminds me of something that Andy would accidentally send us. I'd be like, what is this, Andy? But yeah.
Like back in the day when you had to get people out of your favorites on Snapchat when everybody could see that, and you'd be sending just pictures of the wall. Not that we had friends that did that, right, Andy?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I've never heard anybody doing such things.
Yeah. All right, Andy. Number 3 for you, favorite record so far. What you got?
Well, the disclaimer, I'm a heavy on my 1 and 2, and I had to ask for what else came out this year. But I will say for my 3, I'll go with Riley Green's. What's it called actually?
Oh wow, you didn't prepare, did you?
I don't even know what it's called. The third, I'm all heavy on my 1 and 2. What's that name of the album?
Behind the Bar.
Yeah, that's it.
We reviewed it here on the podcast.
I would just like to say that 2021 has felt like an eternity.
Yeah.
Because I forgot that even came out this year. I thought it was last year till I went back and started looking. So I went back and started looking, yeah.
I knew that came out, but I do go back and still listen to that album. So I'll have to give him that on 3, but I'm a heavy on my 1 and 2.
Now I do like that album a lot. I've found myself whenever like I'm at a tailgate or just driving down the road, because lately I've been having a 100-mile commute for a brief period of time going to work every day. That record's easy to drive to, so I really
it's a good album. That one too.
It is a good album. It is a good album. I agree. So yeah, I like that. For me, number 3. Okay, I was gonna say it was probably Parker McCollum's new record. It's just another one that Parker is a guy who we've always said has the ability to be able to kind of straddle that line between the mainstream and then like the independent side. And like Gold Chain Cowboy was just, I think I wouldn't say it's one of the best records of the year in the sense of it's going to make a lot of top 5 lists for a lot of like critics. But when it comes to like things that I put on just to drive down the road on, or something that it's have friends hanging out and we want to put something in the background, it's good for that. But it also has some really well written songs on it. Like I love Dallas. Heart Like Mine, Falling Apart. I mean, it's very, I guess, what you come to expect in some ways from Parker, but at the same time, I just have really liked it, and I love Why Indiana.
I was about to say, you're about to forget the best one on the album.
Yeah. So Parker, Hollywood Gold is definitely one of my favorite ones so far that I just find myself coming back to that a lot.
That was my number 2. And I'd like to give the Gold Chain Cowboy the Country and Cold Cans rock solid stamp of approval. That's how I would describe that album.
Yeah.
It's just rock solid. It's not world changing. It's just rock solid.
But it's a really good album.
It's just rock solid all the way through.
Yeah, I agree.
So there's 2 for me.
right, Andy, your number 2.
I was actually thinking about this topic for more so thinking about the end of the year, but for my 1 and 2, I don't know which one I would put first or second. I was thinking about this last week, so these could go in either order, but I'll go with number 2. I'll put Morgan Wade's Reckless in for number 2. It's one of my favorite albums that's come out in probably the last 5 to 10 years. Yeah. It is. I was listening to it Thursday night. It is so good.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's just fantastic. I don't. Everybody's heard us whack off to this thing for a while, so
that's one way of putting it.
I mean, Andy,
it is so good though.
There's not a song on that album that I skip.
Nope.
No.
And the ones that I used to would have said that I didn't like as much before, when I go back and listen to, I find myself even liking those songs more and more.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you guys listen to this are going to find that we have similar music taste here, and we're going to have some crossover, because that was my number 2 as well.
Number 1.
Yeah, was Morgan Wade. So I guess it's Kyle's number 1, mine and Andy's number 2. So we can, I guess, all talk about it collectively right now. But
it's going to be number 1 in December, but unless somebody just blows up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it'd be so hard to do
Spoilers.
that. To knock off my 1 or 2, you'd have to put out the greatest album to ever put out in existence of music.
I mean, that doesn't really mean that's not really what we're talking about, though, Andy. We said it was our favorite. It's not what we thought was the greatest album.
I'm both. I'm both on that.
Yeah. Now with this record, it has a very good shot at becoming the number 1 for me by the end of the year. Just because this one was released before my current number 1 favorite that I've been listening to, but. Well, for Morgan Wade, like Reckless, like you said, there isn't a bad song on the record. Even the song Last Cigarette, that was kind of like poppy, still works, that song. And it's still a good song. Like
it's one of my favorite songs on the album.
Wilder Days is the perfect introductory song, like to lead the lead track for that record.
Yeah.
And I think that she just signed with a label, if I'm not mistaken, and that's the song they sent to country radio. So I'm interested to see if they're going to play it.
Now, if I could describe this album in like body language, when any one of these songs comes up in a playlist, all I do is
turn it up
just a couple notches. You got to hear it.
Yeah. I think this is, in my opinion, the best record released of the year
by a long shot.
Yeah.
Can't argue.
Yeah. So like I said, Wilder Days, fantastic. I love Take Me Away and Met You. Like Met You is just a good kind of like sad closer to end on. Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited to see what's going to some more music in the future from Morgan Wade, because this was a fantastic freshman debut.
When we discussed the album back, I believe it was March or April this album dropped.
I don't even know. It feels like a long time ago.
I actually genuinely do worry of a sophomore slump, just because she set the bar so high off the jump. I mean,
yeah, she really did. She hit a home run at her first at bat. So
yeah, it's like, so we all need to keep our expectations in check when the next album does drop. It's just, it's hard to hit that many bangers at one time.
Yeah, I do agree.
Good point.
But all right, Kyle, that was my number 2. We already said your number 1. So what's your number 2?
Mike and the Moon Pies.
It was Parker's.
Yeah.
Parker's is right.
We took all of Kyle's.
We really did.
I tell you what, just to keep the conversation going, probably going to get mad hate for this, but shout out to Morgan Wallen.
That was my number. That was my number 1.
That's my honorable mention, man. It's just good.
I did not like that album at the get-go, and that thing grew on me a ton. Oh, yeah.
Andy trashed that album for like a week.
Bad.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, it's just a good album. I mean, it's too many songs, but
it's I think he pulled off the double part, and that's what makes it, to me, even better. Because I know I said this from the get-go. I said, this guy has no business putting out a double album. He can't even put out one album. And
now it's your favorite record of the year so far.
I can't say it's him and Morgan Wade are both in. I think obviously would know that. I think Morgan Wade's is bigger, but I've said this before. It's hard to put out really good.
Morgan
album.
Wade's record is better, I think is what you meant. Yeah,
but part of it is what I would say though. it's so hard to put out one album that's good all the way through. And he put out a double that is almost good all the way through. That it's hard to do.
So Morgan Wallen's interesting to me because I'll be honest, like I'll get hate for this too, but I do like the album as well. Like his personal issues aside, I do like the record, the Dangerous, the double record or double album, whatever you called it. But it's an enjoyable pop country record from the mainstream. Morgan Wallen, for all the hate he gets, and some of it rightfully so, he puts out better pop country than your average generic bro on country radio. And if you weed through some of those beer songs on this album, there are some really good songs, I think, on this record. I mean, I point to the album closer, Quitting Time. It's an Eric Church co-write. And that song is like uses the metaphor of like, you know, quitting time at the beginning of like getting off work. It's just talking about the relationship ending. That's a fantastic song. I don't care who you are. You can at me on that.
Wondering about the wind.
Wondering about the wind's a good
dust
song.
Cloud.
Yeah, I mean, those are good songs. Like now, are they Evan Felker level of writing? No. But you don't expect that from an arena level act in the mainstream who is going to put out some duds with some better songs. But I mean, look, it's an enjoyable record. It gets played a lot at tailgates and everything. And if you listen to it enough, you find yourself nodding along to it.
It brings out the inner redneck in you. Like country ass shit. I hate it. That song so bad. But it just, I don't know. Now it gets me like hype because of like, it brings out my hardcore inner redneck. I like my shirt starts turning into a Dale Earnhardt shirt every time that comes on.
Funny story about country ass shit. My niece is a little over a year old. My sister-in-law played that for her, and she just started dancing to it, and she just starts laughing every time the song is on. I don't know why. Maybe, you know, some people might maybe make the argument that Morgan Wallen writes songs at the level that a 1-year-old can understand. but my niece loves that song, and it is hilarious because one of these days when she gets a little bit older, she's going to repeat it, and she's going to repeat it probably at the most inopportune time, and it is going to be hilarious to see her parents' faces.
What I could be completely. I know Jason Isbell wrote "Cover Me Up."
Yeah,
didn't he also write "Living the Dream"?
No, God, no.
Oh, who wrote? Where did I?
You're going to catch a lot of hate for.
Where did I hear that from? I could have sworn. Did he write another song on this album?
No.
Okay, you might want to cut that from the pod. Where in the hell did I hear that from?
I don't know where you heard that. Whoever told you that is.
Can't remember if it was Twitter. Well, I could have sworn he wrote something else on that album.
No.
Well, maybe that's what's good. Sorry.
Yeah, "Cover Me Up" is the best written song on the record, and that's obvious because
it's a cover, though.
It's a cover, yeah. It's an Isbell song. It's not a Morgan Wallen song.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, well, maybe I'm getting just something way out of left field confused. I know he wrote that. So. Okay, I could have sworn that I'd heard that he wrote something else on that album.
No.
Okay, well, my apologies. Okay.
I don't think that.
Anyway, Andy.
Sounds like Andy's singing a Morgan Wallen song right now.
Yeah, I just can't remember where in the world I heard that from. That's bothering me now greatly. It's deeply troubling me.
Yeah, I don't know where you heard that from.
Where else I heard that from? Or maybe I just made it up out of whole cloth in my head.
You might have. Because I apologize. Trust me, he didn't write anything else on the record because there's a distinct difference in the songwriting prowess on "Cover Me Up" versus everything else on the record.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I mean, that doesn't mean the album's not enjoyable. Like we always say, anybody that wants to try to say that the album isn't enjoyable in some way, like you're just being a hater in that regard. Like nobody's saying that it's a great album in the sense of it's going to be album of the year because it's definitely not. Like
you don't think it'll win anything at the CMAs?
Nobody cares about those awards. They're all full of shit.
That's our awards. I mean,
the CMA awards, one of those award shows where the CMA, the ACMs lost their TV deal.
I mean, look, I hate all award shows because I hate the people that attend them. I hate the people that attend them.
It's all political and like they literally the labels jockey for who wins what. Like it's all shit.
Right. Like I said, neither one of us are arguing that point. It's just the fact that they still an award, whether or not it's worth a damn.
Well, he won't win it this year at the CMAs because he's not eligible.
Did they kick him out or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he's had a lot of personal issues.
Yeah.
So
Personal foibles haven't stopped other people from
it hasn't, but
winning things.
Like we always say, we're not getting into all that on this show.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, he's had a lot of personal issues that he's rightfully gotten criticism for on things. So, I mean, it's just like, I'm not getting into that on the show. I'm not dipping my toe into that water.
I would be very surprised if this wasn't the best selling country album of the year.
Streaming numbers, it is one of the best streaming for the country records of the year.
Yeah.
Who buys stuff anymore?
Yeah, no one buys anything. But
Andy, this happens every time you bring up Morgan Wallen's name on the podcast.
He's a
I didn't say it. It was Kyle this time.
I mean,
but you were literally just like getting all excited about it in your truck, like, can't wait to say the next name.
I am holding
Kyle
out.
Brought his name up.
Hey, look, the one thing I am holding out for that I think is going to be really good is if Hicks Tape Volume 2 drops.
Yeah, like now.
It's already the first song just dropped about a week ago.
They've got 2 out now.
When did the second one come out?
John Party and Larry Fleet.
Okay, I've heard that one.
There was another one with Jimmy Allen and
Maybe that's the one I haven't heard
Hardy yet. And one other person that I can't remember.
Oh, wait, shocker. Hardy's on it?
Well, Hardy's not going to be on, but like a few of these tracks. He said he's not going to be doing vocals on most of these songs on Hicks Tape Volume 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I did not know that. That's weird. Yeah. That's odd.
But he said he wants it to become its own thing moving forward, where he doesn't have to be on every track, but he kind of like helps orchestrate it.
So basically, he just wants to make a bunch of money and go play golf while everybody else does the performing.
Well, I mean, it's almost like what they do in hip hop, right? Like they have collab albums, and that's kind of what this is.
The only reason I would say that is because to me, to an extent, it felt like Hicks Tape was like the Volume 1 was like almost like Hardy's first album.
Yeah, it was still a collaboration album from the beginning, but we're getting off on it. We're getting off on a tangent. I'm about to tighten up, folks. We got to get back on topic so we can finish out this episode.
Dictator Logan.
Well, I mean, I am at the lead mic, so it kind of is my job. It is my job to get it back on track, even though we get off on tangents sometimes. But yeah, so now to Andy's number 1, Morgan Wallen, Dangerous. Kyle's was Morgan Wade, Reckless. Mm-hmm. And my number 1 is not even somebody in the roots genre of like country rock and roll, or like country and like country rock kind of stuff. But I'm a big fan of John Mayer, like unabashedly. And he put out fantastic record this year called Sob Rock. And it's kind of like, well, if you let me get into the explanation of the album. So it's kind of has like a 1980s aesthetic. Think like, was it Full Moon Fever? It looks by Tom Petty, like on the album cover is what I mean. He's got like the blazer with the sleeves rolled up, holding the guitar. And it's kind of like almost like soft rock, yacht rock kind of sonic sounds on it. It's fantastic. Last Train Home, he actually had Maren Morris doing backing vocals on that song. That was one of the lead singles. I think it's a really, really good record. And like Mayer's one of the most talented musicians out there right now, but like shouldn't matter, but it does. Fantastic song. Then you've got like Shot in the Dark, and you look at the music video, it looks like it's straight out of the 1980s, where it's just talking about like how every time you have a relationship, it's just another shot in the dark. Then you have songs that there was like one big miss on the record, and that's Why You Know Love Me. Why he decided to phrase it like a 5-year-old is beyond me. I listened to an interview to get his explanation for that, and I just didn't understand it. Because Mayer is like, if you hear him do interviews, he's kind of like a very strange guy. But, really talented people in the arts kind of are sometimes. But yeah, Shot in the Dark's a good one. Till the Right One Comes, I think is a really good song, because it's like sitting there, he's addressing the fact that he hasn't had like a long-term relationship, and people are like saying, well, what is he chasing? Why does nothing ever work out? And he's like, it isn't like I woke up one day and looked around and decided I was going to stay lonely. He was like, it's just, he's going to prove him wrong when the right one comes. He said he's seen a lot of bad things, so he wants to try to make sure it's the right situation before he takes that dive. But I can't recommend this record enough. I'm not going to say it's in his top 3 best records he's ever put out, but it's definitely one of my favorite records of 2021 so far.
Cover art, looks like a thirst trap for women.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's probably the marketing for that aspect.
Yeah,
of
it looks like a thirst trap.
But I mean, look, Mayer is one of those dudes that straddles that line between he's like 43 now, so it's like it's not so much like he used to be. Women used to throw themselves at him like the young girls did. It's not so much the case anymore because he's older and he's not like a big pop act.
We were in
Now
high school.
Logan's
Bailey
throwing himself
wasn't
at
in
him.
love.
But like his songwriting as he's gotten older is like gotten so much better from when he was 22 and he wrote an awful song called Your Body is a Wonderland. But like his songwriting now is like sometimes really good, sometimes it's just good. But he's also definitely one of the best guitarists out there in music.
Hey, look, man, as the kids say, a little sus with the zebra trim under the jacket. A little sus. Bold fashion statement.
You think he poached it?
It's 1980s aesthetic. I told you that.
Okay, that makes more sense now. Okay,
That's it.
makes more sense now.
Look at how he's dressed, and he has the nice price on the sticker on the album cover on a digital album like they used to have.
Yeah. Okay. This is. Yeah, and it's even got the little green label on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, this is making more sense now. I just want to know: does he have his jeans rolled up,
I don't know,
slightly out of frame?
but I recommend this record. Everyone should listen to it. If you don't like it, that's fair, but give it a shot.
Never gave John Mayer a fair shake.
That's only because you probably have only heard Bailey play Your Body is a Wonderland and Waiting on the World to Change, which I think are two of his worst songs.
Is that the one where they're talking about a Walmart parking lot? Or I think that's what they say.
No, that's Chris Cagle.
No.
That's Walmart parking lot.
Or put up a parking lot. Maybe that's what the lyric is. Or I don't know.
Nope. I'm pretty sure that's not John Mayer.
Yeah, pretty sure.
That's a country song. I'm pretty sure.
No, not Chris Cagle. Walmart parking lot.
Kyle is legit.
Not a good one at that.
Kyle has
No, but
legit
put up
been.
a parking lot. I've heard that before.
Yeah, that song, Andy. Isn't that a John Mayer song?
I don't think so.
Kyle has legit just been wrong about all of his.
I'm having a rough
assumptions today.
Second half of this episode. So okay, that's not a John Mayer song. Okay, my apology.
I know. I'm almost positive it's not.
Yeah.
D-Berry, is that not a?
No, that's not it. That's like a. I know exactly what you're talking about. I think that's like a Maroon 5 song.
It's not Maroon 5, is it?
I know it.
It's like put up a parking lot. I always thought that was.
That's
always
not
thought it
John
was
Mayer.
Okay, I didn't think it was Maroon.
Look, John Mayer isn't that poppy, man. Like he makes pop rock. He doesn't make pop.
I just keep hearing Andy.
Sure it's not.
I know. People are going to be like, "What is wrong with Andy? He's in Kabul,
exactly.
Missouri."
Not very good at internet service in Kabul.
I blame Verizon.
Is it Kabul or Kabul?
Kabul.
Kabul,
Missouri.
okay. I'm just keep saying Kabul because I'm a redneck, but purposefully mispronouncing it. But yeah.
Anyways, just to round up, everybody say their top three. I was 3, Parker McCollum, Hollywood Gold. 2, Morgan Wade, Reckless, and number 1, Sob Rock by John Mayer.
I was Mike in the Moon Pies, Parker McCollum, and Morgan Wade.
Andy?
Mine was Riley Green and an interchangeable Morgan and Morgan, Wallen and Wade.
Yeah. Well, there you go, folks. Through the month of October, those are our 3 favorite records of the year. Again, not what we think are the 3 best records of the year, but 3 of our favorite records. So, looking forward to the Brooks and Dunn show. You guys should definitely go check out these albums if you haven't heard them. For this episode of Country and Cold Cans, I'm Logan, sitting here with Andy and Kyle. We will see you next time.
Take care.
1, 2, 3, 4.